Open World Zelda? Open World Metal Gear? What's next? Oh yeah! Fellow warriors, I'm OhhhhMyJosh and welcome aboard the Joshticle. Since the inception of Dynasty Warriors meeting the open world genre in its 9th and newest entry, many have been stumped on how exactly it will work. Well, thanks to the newest batch of juicy infos, you can sit back and relax cause I'll explain it all. So pull out your meat buns and let's jam! In Dynasty Warriors 9, the game takes place in Three Kingdoms era China and is completely open world. Yes, that means one gigantic map that you can roam freely in without fear of loading screens. So as long as you have the time and curiosity, you have the freedom to explore its entirety. If you so desire, you can venture from one end of the continent to the other. Just as Mr. Nailster jokingly says, Lubu can totally pursue you all over China. To start off, Omega Force has said that their main philosophy with bringing Dynasty Warriors to the open world is making China feel as realistic as possible. You choose one character to play as at any given time, and depending on your choice, the world may appear different due to story. On top of that, the story will go the usual historical approach of the Three Kingdoms era. We'll save the talk for story progression in another video. For now, let's get immersed in this open world aspect of Dynasty Warriors 9. So how much depth is there within this replication of China? Well, geologically speaking, there are a variety of regions, each with their own quirks. There's snowy areas, plains, jungles, even deserts, and many more. On top of that, there is a dynamic time and climate system. That's right, time of the day and weather changes in real time. Take a good look at this area. Right now, it's midday. Now here's the same place during sunset. This is what it looks like at night. And here it is during sunrise where the cycle repeats again. Keep in mind that all screenshots of the world I show you are actual in-game graphics, so take it as you will. However, this system isn't just for aesthetic, it has actual impacts on gameplay. For example, during the night, an enemy's field of vision is limited. The same can be said for rainy days. If you plan on engaging your enemies in a stealthy fashion, knowing when to infiltrate a base in accordance to time and weather is key. And for the cherry on top, Omega Force has taken the pleasure of including well-known landmarks like the Yellow River and even Mount Song. Very neat additions that I highly appreciate. I can't wait to see more of these. But that's just the nature side of China. We haven't even talked about civilization and all its wonderful urban goodies. First off, there's the key cities. In other words, these are the colossal major cities you can explore. These are your Luoyangs, your Chengdus, and your Jianyes. While they won't be as gigantic as their real-life counterparts, Omega Force assures us that regardless of scale, it'll still have that wow factor to it. Moreover, Omega Force claims there are over 10 of these key cities, so it'll be a pleasure to explore every single one of them. Of course, on the smaller side of the spectrum, there are tinier, generic towns and villages. Assumingly, these will be plentiful in the outside world where it will feel a bit more lively. Well, what would you do in these urban areas anyway? No specifics have been revealed just yet, but they have said that the usual elements of buying and selling is very much there. So a variety of shops then. What I'm about to say is pure speculation, but I would assume there will be facilities like a stable, blacksmith, a library, yada yada. I really hope they add in more interactive features like minigames in these settlements, because that would be awesome. Oh, and they've also briefly mentioned checkpoints, which are a bit ambiguous as to what their purpose is. Additionally, it is heavily implied that places like Hulao Gate are classified as checkpoints. So we've talked about the world itself, but not much about how you, the player, will traverse it. Sure, if you're a hardcore true warrior of the Three Kingdoms, you may go the route of running on foot to your destination. But let's not kid ourselves, nobody is crazy enough to do that. This is where horses come into play. That's right, the main source of transportation on land will be your trusty steed. Imagine how hard it'll be to capture Red Hair as your own personal horse. I don't know about you, but that sounds like fun. For covering distance on bodies of water, you can't take your horse with you because you'll drown it. Well, thankfully, there are boats available at harbors alongside the shore. Of course, if you much rather channel your inner Olympian and actually swim across these great bodies of water, go ahead, the freedom is yours. Heck, Omega Force even says it'll take about 5 minutes to cross the Changjiang River by swimming. Only an imbecile would do that. Oh, who am I kidding? We all know that deep down inside, we are all going to try this out for ourselves when the game releases. See, that's the underlying greatness of open world games. You're free to do whatever you want. It's beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I almost forgot about one of the most crucial features an open world game must have. Fast travel. Indeed, fast travel, the art of instantly warping to a given location at any time, is also here in Dynasty Warriors 9. The catch being that you can only warp to areas you've previously visited. No complaints there, as that is a normal restriction. And for anyone still wondering, yes, the core 1 vs 1000 aspect of Musou games has been fully adapted to accommodate this transition to open world. Gone are the days of traditional stages where battlefields take place. It's been thrown out of the window. Battles are now seamlessly taking place all over the world. Consequently, deciding which specific battle to partake in at any given time is also part of the struggle. I guess I'll use this opportunity to briefly mention other interesting tidbits related to the open world. There are tons of missions and side quests. You'll be massacring waves of peons, taking over bases and strongholds, and even hunting wildlife. All the usual action-packed Musou greatness is alive and well. Giving more depth to the world are the interactive actions. You can ignite oil cans to start a fire, and you can even use a grappling hook to scale walls. How cool is that? The potential is there, and I think it would be awesome if we could operate siege weapons like catapults and ramps. And don't let it stop there, let me control one of the juggernauts from the Shu Kingdom. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Moving on, story progression is directly connected to the open world. What I mean is that China will dynamically change as you further progress through the main story. The NPCs all over the land will frequently talk about what's relevant in the country at that specific time. Regions will have different appearances. In fact, some features in the world and cities are locked until you reach certain points of the story. Also taking place in the world are conversation scenes, although not much was said about these specific scenes. Phew! And that is all that was revealed about the open world so far. Hopefully you found this video helpful with visualizing and connecting the dots to further understand how the open world aspect works in Dynasty Warriors 9. Based on all the images we've received thus far, I'm not just impressed, I'm flabbergasted by the sheer scale, the graphical upgrades, and the immense innovation. Personally, this is probably the most hype I have ever been for a Dynasty Warriors game, and I'm so excited to learn more about it. However guys, that's the end of the video, so until the next batch of juicy info, stay tuned for more Musou greatness. I'm OhhhMyJosh, and remember, do not pursue Liu Boo!